Welcome to my winter favorites video. Thanks for clicking into this video. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so most of these are going to be clothing based actually. Lots of bags and shoes. I've been really into shopping on Carousel lately. I became obsessed with Carousel for like a month of my life. It's because I was super into like watching leather restoration videos on TikTok, and like these girls would like have their like Coach leather bags and they'd be like, I found this at the thrift store. So I started going on Carousel, which is kind of like the Hong Kong Depop, and looking for like old bags and stuff, and I found some kind of like vintage clothing items, which are basically all in my winter favorites because I'm obsessed with all of them. I got this Ralph Lauren racing jacket, and I also got from the same seller, you guys are gonna be jealous, I got this American flag, although actually the election was literally yesterday, so maybe I shouldn't wear the American flag. I said, okay, this is giving Lana Del Rey with the American flag sweater. It's giving the Ride music video by Lana Del Rey. Anyway, I got both of these for I think like the equivalent of around like 10 pounds. Like each was like around 10 pounds. Lately I've been trying to focus a little bit more on like getting items that, or like if I do buy new clothes, I try to focus more on like how good the quality is and like whether it's gonna last me a long time. Like I only really want to get something if I feel like I love it and it's going to last me a long time, you know? Because yeah, like I feel like as I'm getting older, you know, as I'm spending more time on this earth, I feel like I'm more focused on like the quality of the material, like how comfortable is it. Because I like have another fall coat that's like fake leather, and I was just like wearing, and I still think it's really cute, like I'm still keeping it, but I just feel like when you actually wear it, it's not that comfortable, you know? Like I would really rather choose something that is made of like material that I find comfortable. I also got this from Carousel and I've been obsessed. It's been my like go-to bag. I've been looking for like a large bag for a while now because like I just like for me, I'm someone who like everywhere I go I take like a 1 liter water bottle. I prefer to have my 1 liter like water bottle with me everywhere, and it just doesn't fit in any handbags, and it's like I don't want to carry like a little canvas tote like for like months because I had like no like mid-sized bags. I'd end up carrying like the company tote bag that they gave to me for free with my company logo on. And it's, by the way, I don't think my company logo is chic either. So I'd just be carrying this like ugly tote bag and I don't like it. And I was like, this is very glamorous. So that's why I've been looking for like a mid-tier, like mid-size bag that can fit my 1 liter water bottle and everything else I want to take out with me. So lo and behold, I got this. Oh, you can't even see. It's a blue marine like tote. Is it kind of like a tote bag? It's a blue marine tote bag. A little bit like a suede material, but it's like fluffy on the inside. The interior is furry, the outside is furry, and it has this, these little details right here. And it's so cute, the little buttons have like a little heart with an arrow. And I also got this on Carousel. Hi. And I've been wearing it everywhere because I've been really missing like a bag that's like this size. And yeah. I just think it's super cute. Like, it's very versatile, I can take with me everywhere, use all the time. Yeah. Another favorite of mine, let's go with clothes first. Let me finish all the clothes. I think is this skirt. This mini polka dot mini skirt. And on the back, it has these ruffles. And this is where your butt goes. And I just love it. I think it's so pretty. It comes with like safety shorts, but you can't really see. And I just think it's so pretty. I think it's like the perfect length, the perfect shade, the perfect color for winter. I've been really into neutral tones also, so like lots of grays, lots of mostly grays actually. Something else I want to show you is when I was obsessed with carousel, I also got like a couple pairs of shoes, and I found these Miu Miu ballet flats. The seller gave them to me for like, also like everything was like around 10 pounds. Here are the Miu Miu flats. I love this little like rose detail. I think it's so interesting and so chic. I love brown also. Like I've been really into those kind of like dark, like just really kind of into like dark neutral colors like brown. I think my colors for this season are actually like navy, brown, and baby pink. So I have really been trying to find a pair of winter boots for literally like years, and I had like a pair that I got last year, but it was also like a case of like it was this kind of like pleathery leather, and after a while I realized that it was really quite uncomfortable. So I really wanted to find a pair of leather boots that were like genuine leather and would last me for years and years and years. So I was on Carousel and I found these Prada leather boots, and the seller sold them to me for I think like 20 something pounds. And they are just these really basic like leather riding boots, and they're in pretty good quality. They're actually like, I mean, there are like a little bit of like some marks there, but it's really like very good quality. And yeah, it has the Prada emblem right here. I am just really happy. I'm really excited because I also love the color. Like I love brown. So that was basically all of my clothing items in my favorites. I want to move on to hobbies. This is kind of random, but like I've become obsessed with leather restoration. And I literally like, I mentioned that I was looking for like Coach bags on Carousel to restore. I managed to find this, okay, fashion scholars may be jealous. I managed to find this like Miu Miu leather tote bag, and it was like archive 90s, and it comes with this little wallet. And honestly, like when I first got this from the seller, it was in really bad condition. Like it was giving like, it was just so dry, it was so neglected. Like no one had cared for this bag in a very long time. So I bought her, and I like washed her down with a little bit of saddle soap scrub. Added like leather, like maintenance, what do you even call those, like leather maintenance conditioning cream. And I've actually like conditioned it like maybe like 3 times, and I kind of like, because it was so dehydrated and it was so dry, when I first conditioned this, I actually conditioned this like every day for like 3 days. I have my like conditioning tools. When you have a leather item, you have to like care for it, and you have to think of it as like skin, you know what I mean? So I have this leather conditioning milk. I got this literally from like Taobao. I went like a leather repair shop, and what I do is I have one of these pads that like the leather shop gave this to me for free. But anyway, so this is what I do, and I don't do this like all the time now. In order for it to be in that pristine like condition, I think you still need to kind of maintain it with a little bit of leather conditioner. So I just put the conditioner on. I use my sponge to kind of spread it out. Just like that. Hi! Oh my god, when I first put this on, it was so really in a bad state. It wouldn't adhere to the conditioner at all. I'm gonna add a little bit more for this side. I think what I really like about leather, like, restoration is the fact that I'm using my hands, you know? It's tactile, it's sensory. It's because, like, there's so many other, like, things that I like to do, like watching movies, like, all of that. But, like, they all require, like, my eyes and, like, a computer, you know? And sometimes my eyes get tired and, like, I don't want to, like, be on my laptop all the time. Which is why, like, a part of me, like, loves when I get to do stuff like this. Like, I love, like, arts and craft. Like, you don't really get a chance to do arts and craft anymore. Like, when's the last time you took a paintbrush and, like, painted something? You know? Do you know what I mean? Literally. So that's why I like leather, like, restoration and repair, because it's like I'm using something with my hands, and, like, I can see it, like, getting better and everything. So anyway, after I apply everything with my pad and I spread it, it's actually already soaking in, but I take my buffing brush and I just kind of... I like to also go with the grain of the leather, because the leather is a little bit fragile, like, it has not been loved in a long time. So if I kind of went the other way, it would mess up the leather. I also love the sound. I'm just gonna condition the other side too. So yeah, this has been like my biggest hobby this winter is like leather repair, restoring like old bags. I even had this like other pair of like Prada shoes that I got. I honestly think... Oh my god, something just fell. I honestly think these straps need a little bit of care too. But, so I'm gonna use like a different type of like canvas soap to wash these, and then I think this is basically almost good as new, or as good as new as possibly can be, I think. Yes. Another item that I also like repaired is this leather jacket that used to be my mom's, and I had this like, I used my conditioning milk, but like a black one that was made like specifically for black leather, and it just really like made the edges like of the sleeves, like, I guess you can't tell because this is freshly like restored, but before like there would be kind of like graying around the sleeves, and now it literally, you can't tell, like, it looks all the same color, it looks good as new. And yeah, leather restoration. I'm obsessed. These Prada sneakers that I got, also from Carousel, so these are all secondhand items, and that I just like scrubbed it with a little saddle soap, and then I like dabbed it with like a microfiber cloth. Yeah. I'm obsessed with cleaning like clothes. My next biggest restoration project is this blue marine handbag. So this one is a bit of a challenge because it has like a plastic film on top, but you can see like it's already completely detached and it's like flaking off. So what I think I'm going to do, if anyone knows restoration in the comments, you know, tell me if this is a good idea. But what I was thinking of doing is actually just like ripping off the plastic and then like buying a specialized leather paint, which would cost me like 30 Hong Kong dollars, and then just like repainting the leather to be like a silver. And yeah, before, when I bought this, the zipper, which by the way is also broken, so I need to replace that. The zipper used to be like unopenable, but that has been fixed by me. See, now you can open it and it's perfectly openable before you could even open it. So there. And something else is like I'm noticing like there's like some damage on the logo here. So I bought like a leather polish, but that didn't do anything because I think the like erosion is on the plate itself. So what I did was I actually bought like a special type of like metal paint, which costs only like $10 here. I bought it from like a metal store and I'm just gonna paint over it. We'll see how it goes, you know. But like, you know, sometimes I just feel like you could either try to repair something and like give it new life, or just like let it be like a flop, you know. Like this beautiful blue marine bag is so gorgeous, so beautiful. I love it so much. I think it's so pretty and it has so much potential. The inside is like perfect condition, but it's just kind of like been neglected, and all of these items have been neglected. You just need one person to kind of come in and fix it and like care for it a little bit, and then it's like a perfectly beautiful usable bag, you know. Yeah, so I've been really into like clothing restoration, leather restoration lately, specifically leather restoration because I love the smell of leather also. Like I love, yeah, I'm trying to find a signature perfume too, but it's so hard. Like it's really hard to find your like perfume scent. Okay, that's my winter favorite in terms of like hobbies. I think I'm gonna go and talk about my favorite books now. Okay, finally, miscellaneous winter favorite items. I want to talk about books. I love to read, as you know, but this is not the exact book I want to talk about, but my new favorite book of all time, which has usurped Kitchen by Banana Yoshimoto, which used to be my favorite novel. My current favorite novel is the book Life After God by Douglas Coupland. I'm gonna put a little picture here. I took this with me to Korea. I bought it when I was from the Dasa bookstore in Bangkok. If you ever go, it's like this really lovely like secondhand bookstore. And I took it with me when I was in Seoul, and I cried like 3 times reading it. I thought it was so beautiful. It was basically, let me bring up the tagline. It was like, it's a collection of short stories published in 1994. The jacket for the hardcover book reads, "You are the first generation to be raised without religion." I thought this book was so powerful. It was just so melancholic, and it was so honest. I don't know, like it just made me think a lot about my life and the life that we lead in society, and kind of like what life is like in postmodernist society. Because the premise of it is essentially like, I think it's kind of like Gen X is what the author is, the generation the author is from, and kind of like exploring what it's like to be the first generation, like to be free from those kind of like baby boomer traditions, you know, to be in an economy that's kind of like flop, to be in a flop economy, to have, I guess, kind of like that freedom, like you're no longer bound by like societal expectations of like you need to buy a house, you need to like have blah 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 blah, because those like standards don't really exist for generations past that era. So sense of loss that comes with having that sense of freedom. And there was this really kind of like melancholic, lost type of voice throughout the book, and it kind of explored like lots of different things. Like it talked a little bit about like war, it talked a little bit about like addiction, like, you know, corporate life, like having a job, divorce, like having children, all of those things. And it just felt so honest and so relevant to even my generation, which is Gen Z. And I think that that's why this book was so powerful to me. Like, I cried so much. It was so good. It was so good. But so yeah, I don't have the book with me right now because it was so powerful. I lent it to like one of my friends. Yeah. So my friend Yong has it right now. I no longer have it. I actually, like, I feel like I need it with me, you know? It feels like I need it back. But like, I like to have things that I care about like close to me. But at the same time, like, I'm glad to be like sharing like a book that I really love with like someone in my life, you know. But at the same time, I'm like, oh, Young better finish reading this novel quickly because I need it like close to me, you know. I also wanted to talk a little bit about this book. I haven't, like, I like read the first page, but this is by the same author, and it's called Generation X: Tales for an Accelerated Culture. It's by the same guy, and this was published before Life After God. So I was reading like on Goodreads that like a lot of his like readers were like, this is kind of like a companion piece to Life After God. It's about similar themes, but this is kind of like from the perspective of someone who is still younger. Life After God is kind of like about the same generation, about the same kinds of people, but from the perspective of like, you're kind of looking back. You know, when was this published? Don't worry, mother. If marriage doesn't work out, we can always get divorced. Like, do you know what I mean when I say, like, the characters that... And in Life After God, it was very similar. Like, the characters kind of were no longer beholden to any type of, like, societal expectations of, like, traditional values. And when you are unbeholden to anything like that, there's a very lonely feeling that kind of permeates Life After God. So I'm excited to read this book too. I wonder what similarities it would have with Life After God. If I, you know, feel something different reading this, I'm very excited. Another book I want to talk about is this book. My friend got this for me. I think she bought this when she was in New York, and she gave this to me as a gift because she knows how much I really enjoy this photographer's work. So it's called Hiromix Works, and it's a photo book featuring the collected works of a Japanese photographer called Hiromix, whose novels kind of explore ideas of girlhood, of growing up. I don't know where she bought this from. You. I'm like scared of like opening it too, but you don't know, you know, with these like old books, you don't know like how much you can open the, you know, how much you can open the page. Anyway, so it has like every year that she's like made work. Hiromix is a really cool photographer. Like, I think she had like a cameo in like Lost in Translation, and she's oomfies with Sofia Coppola. That's what I read. Oh, she's kind of like a cult photography figure. I think what I really like about her work and why she also inspires me is because I think like when you look at the way she photographs, they're not like really elaborate sets. They're not super elaborate lighting setup. It's not like super expensive equipment, but there's like a sincerity and an honesty in her work that I really like. And as I'm trying to explore my craft, as I'm trying to expand my craft into photography and do more photo shoots, like, I find it kind of inspiring to see another photographer whose work is so beloved, but for there not to be, like, for the barriers of entry to not be so hard, to not be so stringent. This is her. This is the photographer. Yeah. Another book that I love. Okay, another miscellaneous item I do want to give a shout out to. So random. I do want to give a shout out to is like a mascara that I've been loving recently. Oh my god. Okay, let's talk. What else do I like? Favorites. I watched 2 movies. I watched both The Substance and Anora also. I haven't mentioned this on my channel before, but like I'm actually in the process of making my first short film, which I wrote the screenplay for. And I think like when I'm trying to make art, I'm also trying to be more conscious of absorbing more art. That's one of my first things, is like I feel like you copy an artist if you're not reading, if you're not consuming art, you're not learning from other artists, you're not expanding your own like perspective. So like I was trying to read more when I was writing, and as I'm moving into production, I'm trying to explore more kind of like visual works, and like I'm trying to watch more movies too. I think that I also love movies. I don't think I've mentioned this. I think we're actually in a really good place for independent cinema in the last couple months. Like there's been so many movies that I actually like I'm excited to watch that I have watched in the cinema. Like for example, I watched The Substance. I gave that 8 out of 10. I watched Anora, which I loved. I loved Anora. I think both of those movies are definitely worth checking in the cinema. Yeah. So yeah, let me check my letterbox too. I'll see if I watched anything else that I can mention. Yeah, okay, those are the only ones worth mentioning. Anora and The Substance. Definitely check them out if you can. And yeah, two last things. Miscellaneous items. I really want to give a shout out to this mascara specifically. It is so good. It's genuinely one of the best mascaras I've ever used. The Kill Lash Long Curling Mascara by Clio. And I love a tiny one because I can get it like right in my lower lashes, and I can look like a creepy little doll, which is very chic. Oh my god, the girls are gonna be jealous. The girls are gonna be jealous of this one. But I have also been obsessed with Blythe recently. I think Blythe dolls are the next chic thing. And mark my words, Blythe doll are gonna be so chic. They're gonna be the next Sylvanian family in the next 3 months. And I managed to get this from a secondhand seller. Bitch, I know you're jealous. I know you're jealous. Gave me, like, I bought this from the guy, and he actually gave me an extra one for free. I just think these are so cute. It's, I just by the same author. Yeah, it's by the same author. But this is kind of like the original. It's photographed by Gina Garin, and I actually think that this was originally published in Hong Kong. This is why like there's a lot of like secondhand editions of this book in particular that's available to be purchased here. Yeah, printed in Hong Kong, which is really interesting. I think like back in the 90s, like, was this printed in the 90s? 2000, in the 2000s. I think back in that type of era, like, it was really popular for Hong Kong to be a place of like manufacturing. Yeah, so there was a lot of things in that time that was like printed here, which I find very interesting. If you aren't familiar with this book, it's essentially a photo book of like images of Blythe dolls in like different situations, in like different settings. I love it. I think this is so creative and fun. I really, really love it. I love it. It's so fun. I really want to get a Blythe doll so I can do the same thing. And I've been like kind of really into like looking up like old Blythe Flickr accounts, like people who like take their Blythe doll to places and also photograph their Blythe dolls in this way. Like, I just find it so interesting. I love it. This is me when I win my Academy Award for my short film, obviously. Yeah. This is so funny. Anyway, at the back of this book, there is a quote from David LaChapelle, whose photography I love. Gina Garin is a new master in a world where dolls rule. Her hypnotic photography, exotic locations, and styling seduce the eyes to orgasmic highs. If you've ever loved a doll, had a doll, seen a doll, or been to a mall, this book is for you. Actually, no. One last thing. My film camera. I have a Konica Big Mini point and shoot camera. I got this recently, also secondhand from a seller on like Depop, and I just love it. I just really like it, and yeah. When I bought this, the lady gave me a discount because I was cute. You know, when you're a cute girl, people just be giving you discounts. Anyway, she gave me like a 200 Hong Kong dollar discount, and she like told me, she was like, yeah, I bought this camera because like I saw Jennie Kim from Blackpink like talk about it in her like what's in my bag video, but then I never take photos. So then she gave it to me, and I do use it, and I love it. And fun fact, actually, like this wasn't like the reason why I got this, but like I was researching a little bit about like hiromix and like what camera she uses, and she also uses a Konica Big Mini. And because I saw that she used one, I like added the Big Mini into like the list of possible ones that I was gonna get. But this wasn't like, I wasn't like, I must get the Big Mini. I had like a couple other options, but then like all of the other options, like either they weren't selling them, like I couldn't find a seller who was selling that model, or like it was just like a little bit too expensive. So I decided, so the only one that I felt like was like reasonably priced and the seller was nice and the condition was like good was the Konica Big Mini, so I ended up getting this one. Okay, that is the end of the video. Those are all of my favorites for winter. I feel like I've literally just like showcased that I have like a shopping problem. And I'm like disguising it. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna repair this. But I have been repairing it. I have. But most of it was just like clothes and books, which is basically the only things that I really get anymore. I hope you enjoyed today's video. What are your winter favorites? Tell me in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and follow me, subscribe to me. All of my ads are here, and you have to follow me on IG because when I eventually share my short film, you guys all have to watch it. Otherwise I'll be like embarrassed. I'll be like, guys, why isn't anyone watching my short film? And I'll be telling everyone to rate it on Letterboxd too, like 3-star minimum. Okay, anything below 3 stars, like, that is the end of the video, and have a good day, have a good month. Okay, bye.